Thursday.
Hey!
Happy Thursday, everybody.
Happy Shunt Day.
Is that happy what day?
Shunt.
No, don't say that.
Be careful.
We're going to talk about that later,
careful.
this ridiculous nickname for Chubb and Hunt.
Yes.
How it became a thing. Is it a thing? Should it be a thing? That's all on our table today. Maurice Clarett is here. Should we bring him in right now? Say hello to Maurice Clarett.
Yeah, we can. What's up? Give us one
Maurice
sec.
is joining us via remote. He'll be on with us all day long.
There
Maurice,
he
what's
is.
up? He's driving.
He was like, yeah, I'm moving
I'm 5
around.
minutes from home.
This can't be safe.
Bro, please don't get
I'm
pulled
5
over.
minutes from home.
Bro, all I have to say is please don't get pulled over. I know how that ended once.
See, y'all friends, you can go there.
I can't because I love.
Yeah.
It'll be all positive now.
I know it will. It will. Thank God. So listen, Maurice, here's what we're going to do. I don't want the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show to be responsible for an insurance claim. You get home and you dial back in because God forbid anything bad happen. I don't want. We've already had a guy puke on our show this week.
That's true. I don't know who that guy was, but
5 minutes.
I'm 5 minutes from home. I'll be there.
All right, be safe. We'll check with you in 5 minutes. That was worth checking in on.
yes.
I told you.
Jay, by the way, speaking of gross things, I've got to take people behind the scenes. All right, I got to take people behind the scenes. The men's bathroom / locker room in our studio. It's not really ours. It's like connected to our studio. There's a gym here.
Yeah.
That a lot of the other people in
It's
the
the
building use.
WKYC gym.
It's
studio.
gross, man.
Yeah, it doesn't get cleaned on the rotation like it should.
I see like random socks on the floor.
Yeah.
Somebody shaved a while ago. It still hasn't been cleaned up.
No, I think I might know who's doing that, but I'm not going to say. But I think he's sitting next to me.
Like behind that door. Oh, is that you that never cleaned up that shave?
In that case, that bathroom ain't been cleaned in months then. That was like in May.
By the way, can we show that picture that you guys just had that down the hallway there? So there's Anthony, right? That's our production area. Down past that doorway is a gym.
And it's a great gym, by the way.
It's a great gym.
It's an unbelievable
I
gym.
use it every day. These guys are a bunch of slackers.
Yeah, whatever.
Everybody. And then there's the bathroom locker room. Like I'm imagining the women's room is all nice and clean.
It
and whatever,
probably is. I've never been in there.
The men's room's disgusting.
Yeah, you know what it reminds me of is the men's shower / bathroom at a college dorm.
Oh yeah.
Because
it's exactly
but I
what it
will
looks
say,
like.
there's a sign in there that says your mother's not picking up after you. Keep it clean.
Yes.
Now, I use it daily.
Yeah.
I do clean up my space. I mean, I just have a locker in there,
Right.
and if I do shave in there, which is very rare, I make sure I clean the sink out.
Yeah.
I haven't since it's been left in there for a couple of months. But I mean, I'm with you. I see paper towels. Guys are a bunch of pigs.
We're animals.
We are a bunch of pigs.
We really are.
And it's no one's fault but the male gender. It's
They were
our fault.
disgusting.
I always tell people, if there was no women in the world, there's no reason to clean up. There's no reason to
You only keep it clean for the ladies?
That's it.
What's funny is I am obsessively neat.
I am too. Yeah,
I'm not necessarily like the toilet can get a little gross, and my wife's like, "This is so disgusting."
Yeah.
How are you not bothered by this? But yeah, that's the infamous
Nah,
garbage can.
listen, this is some cap.
But I am very neat.
Just all this cap. Everybody claim they're a neat freak. I'm gonna go to your crib and just walk around.
Trust me.
Hey,
It's
listen,
just-
invited
I'm obsessive.
anytime.
I'ma just walk
you'd be
in
blown
there
away.
and just
Because
look.
my wife is
about
even
it.
more
And your
obsessive
space,
than I
not
am.
your wife's space.
Yeah, that's
your
true.
Space.
Yeah, but he shares his with his wife.
I'm actually much neater than my wife.
Are you really?
Yes, she's
Yeah.
cleaner, much cleaner than I am, but I'm much neater.
Jay, you neat freak?
No, I have ADD. I'm everywhere.
You're everywhere.
You
You're
should
all
see
over.
my desk.
Yeah.
It's atrocious.
I learned from working in the business for 35 years, the people with the messiest desks are usually the busiest and the most genius.
There
If
you
you go
go.
upstairs and
Well,
look at my desk,
that's
my
been proven
desk,
wrong.
my desk looks like a movie set
End of
desk.
debate.
It's cleaned every day. You know?
You ever be in the Jetsons? Remember they used to have the electronic maid?
Oh, that
her
was
name was
dope.
actually Rosie, by the way.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
Well, she does the same thing. As soon as I come in, I throw a watch there, she picks it up. I put a hat there, she comes back, picks it up. Like she's behind me.
His wife's name is Rosie.
Her,
for
my
those who
wife's
don't
name,
know.
and I don't.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if it was dirty or not because she just cleans it that
That's
fast.
funny.
You're just a slob.
Yeah. And by the way,
wasn't the Jetsons in 2022? Wasn't that the year of the Jetsons?
Was it really?
It was kind of
Somewhere near here.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't know. I never heard that before.
We're not floating around in
I
space
love that
like
show.
that.
I love the juxtaposition between the Jetsons and the Flintstones.
Flintstones.
It was just
Yes. Yeah.
like when I was a kid, I didn't get that, but as I got older, I'm like, oh, I see.
Yeah.
Dark Ages, dinosaurs, future, robots. Pretty smart.
Yeah. So before this, I'm just gonna put my hat on. I'm gonna take my hat off. I bought this hat because I was celebrating that I retired Tyvis. If you did not know, rewatch last. He said he's done. He's finished. So I just was gonna take this off.
He lost the YouTube.
He lost the YouTube bet. I did beat him. Shout out to the Browns. This is the strength and conditioning coach hat. Y'all don't got this.
Oh, nice. How'd you get that?
It's G. Bush. I'm the people's champ.
That's true. You are.
I got a belt.
You got your sources.
Yeah.
You got your. Well, you won yesterday. I mean, the people spoke and
fair and square.
Now we can chill.
Maurice, obviously coming up on the show. Aditi's going to join us. She hasn't joined us since the Browns-Panthers game, so we're not going to spend a lot of time looking back. But I'm sure she has nuggets that she'd like to share.
Yeah.
More importantly, we want her thoughts on the Jets and looking forward. Also, on that note, Mark Cannizzaro, an old buddy of mine who writes for the New York Post, is going to join us and tell us what to expect from the Jets. And based on his recent column, not much. I don't think he's expecting much either.
I always find it funny when people in Cleveland say the media is too tough. It always makes me laugh because I'm like, in New York,
that's
like
tough
there are
media.
some tough media members. I think I'm one of them. I think Jason's one of them. The rest of you guys suck. No, I'm just kidding. I think we all are on this show, but a lot of the Cleveland media is soft.
Yeah, it's different.
In New
There's
York,
more competition, obviously, in New York for the eyeballs.
Yeah.
And particularly now that it's gone mostly web-based, everybody wants the clicks.
Yes.
And, gosh, I was, in the decade that I lived there and consumed all of the media on a daily basis, I was blown away constantly at the difference between New York media and Cleveland media.
Yeah.
And Tampa media, because I worked in Tampa, and Columbus media.
It's a big difference. Especially the guys that cover the Jets and the Knicks.
But I think the baseball's harsh.
The Yankees are
That's
the
true.
harshest.
Yankees,
That's true. But the Yankees have been good, so it hasn't happened as often.
Now, for some of the years that I was there, they were not.
Okay,
and the one thing that New York media and fans don't tolerate is a Yankees team that's not in the discussion.
That's true.
That drives them nuts.
Oh, I was fighting with Yankee fans on Twitter. I had them triggered, if you will.
Really?
Because I said, even though I actually changed my mind on this, but I said Ohtani should be the MVP.
Wow.
It's about time you flipped.
Yeah, you were on
came on and told us it should be judged.
I know, that's a no-brainer.
I know, and then I was like, no, I'm wrong. But here's the weird thing.
Jason, we got to him.
It's amazing. It's a miracle.
But here's
he never
the thing.
changes his mind.
No, I actually do.
He does.
I do.
He flips.
Yeah.
But I guess the reason I was against it, not even because it was because like I thought about this and it may happen. If he wins this year, he's basically going to win every year.
Why wouldn't he? As long as he performs like he is. Yeah, he's got to keep his numbers
It's not
like
that he's good at both.
Right.
It's that he's great at both.
That's exactly right.
He may not be the best at both.
No.
But he's great at both.
You know what? I was watching part of a Yankees telecast a couple of weeks ago, and they said if you compare his numbers to last year's AL Cy Young winner, better.
Yep.
And if you compare his numbers to, I think, 3 of the last 5 AL MVPs, better.
It's remarkable. And Judge is having an incredible season.
He is. Yeah, he is.
Anyway.
But you know what? Your point is well made. I wonder how it would go if he's doing it on a team that doesn't matter, in a city where they're invisible.
See, I don't see, this is
no pressure.
This is my problem with voters. Voters do like human things. I don't like humans. Humans do regular stuff and they get fickle. They do the both sides thing. Like if somebody do something bad, you'll go back and reach and find somebody else and be like, well, everyone does it. No, it was just that guy who did it. Or if you get in a position where somebody is really, 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 really good, you'll just say, okay, well, I know he's good, but let me kind of diminish it and bring up somebody else because we got to give him a chance.
Yeah.
No, little Johnny don't deserve a chance.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like,
Although I do think Judge will win because of that.
I think
because the Angels are bad and because they don't want to vote for him every year.
He's going to hit 62, in my opinion.
Probably is,
He's at 57.
Did he hit 2 yesterday?
I think
He had 2 yesterday.
So he's at 57.
I mean, he's having an absurd season.
To think that he's going to go the last 15 games of the year and not get 5 home runs, that's not happening.
Unlikely, yeah.
So barring injury, he's going to get 62. And the reason 62 obviously is significant is because for most, that's the number.
Y'all wiped it away.
That's the fair number.
74 y'all got rid of. So
yeah, well, I mean,
at 66 they got rid of too, right?
That's the clean record.
I think anything,
that's the clean record.
all the 66 and the 70 and the 73 and all that, I thought it happened.
Right.
But there's an asterisk next to it. And I think most diehard baseball fans, correct me if I'm wrong, I think most still view 61 as the single season home run record.
I don't think we obsess over the number because it's been tainted, but I look at it as the clean record. That's how
the clean record.
Yeah.
I look at it as complicated. The whole thing
it is very
It's a mess, and
Very
we're not going to solve it here.
Yes.
So Mark Cannizzaro's on the show. We're going to talk Donovan Mitchell. We're going to do that in just a little bit. I can't remember a better debut news conference for a Cleveland athlete.
He won a press conference.
He won that press conference.
Man, did he win it. It was
He even
incredible.
impressed Jason, and Jason's hard to impress.
Yeah, he did impress you. I mean,
we'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
unbelievable. Hold those thoughts. All right, we start today with the dynamic duo.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, finally together in the backfield, finally putting up the numbers that we've all known that they can do. It looked like Kansas City Kareem, and Nick always looks like Nick. So you know how this works. When you've got a duo like that, they've got to have a nickname. Thunder and Lightning. There's been a million combos that we've had nicknames for. And apparently now they have recognized the nickname of Chunt.
This is very
Say it
dangerous.
one more time, Jay, just in case
It's
anyone missed it.
Chunt. Obviously, a combo of Chubb and Hunt. I hate this, and I don't think it should be a thing. What do you?
I don't like the phonetics of it. It's too
close.
It's too many Freudian slips.
I want news anchors to be able to say that all the time.
I'm not going there. You're not gonna cancel me. It's only like 5 of me anyway. I'm in a dangerous species. You're not getting me on a nickname. No,
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you Kareem Hunt, a Thunder and Light. I'll be whack for once. I'm not gonna be on the cutting edge of this.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Jay, do you like it?
Listen, it started with buddies of mine, with Ken and Anthony on 92.3, and I like them a lot. I'm going to defer.
Okay, I know what you're saying then.
I'm going to plead the fifth.
You're trying
You're
to
saying
ride
they
the
invented
fence.
this?
Oh, they 100%.
Do I get the credit for inventing Baker Bros? Because I don't get the credit for that. God damn it. I
Hey,
started that.
Hey.
did you invent
Am I allowed
that?
to
I
say
don't
that?
know that that's
I have
true
no
or
idea.
not. I don't
I
know.
have no idea.
I
that
invented Master Baker.
That's a good one.
Wow.
That was mine.
I never heard that, but I like
that
it.
was mine. All the Master
We'll
Bakers.
give Ken and Lima credit. We're not petty here. We're reference my old
These
station.
guys
Do you like it, Bull?
Even
You
though
don't
my
like
old
it.
station doesn't ever reference us. But no, it's terrible.
Right.
It's terrible. Unfortunately, that's what their names are, and it makes that word, but it's a terrible nickname.
Yeah.
It's just terrible on its own, besides what you might say when saying that.
Yeah, I'll tell you. So I print my notes every
Yeah.
morning, and a lot of times I forget them in the office. So my wife will hear the printer going, and she'll go in and grab them and say, "Here are your notes. Don't forget them, forgetful idiot." and she looks at the show because she's interested. She watches
Sure.
when she can.
Okay.
And she's a sports fan, and she goes, "Oh no. And I didn't know what she was talking about, and I'm like, "What?" She goes, No. There will never be a Chunt. That is not happening. So the women have spoken.
Bro,
now maybe we have to get our resident female Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show voice on, the fan of the Browns. What's her name?
Robin Lochner?
Maybe she disagrees. Maybe she likes it.
I mean, this is how bad it is. You could walk down the street, be talking to your buddy, and you'd be like, "Hey, man, did you see Chunta last night?" And this is just,
No!
what? He'll look at you like, no, bro, come on, man.
How did they acknowledge it?
Right.
Yeah,
How did they acknowledge
Of
it?
course,
if we
didn't
could
give
play
you
the sound.
so
I think Tom Withers, asked.
No, we can't play the sound,
Yeah.
but you
Can't
can
play
tell
the
the story
sound.
because you've seen it.
Yeah, so they looked at each other. They both laughed. Kareem said,
Of course they did.
"Oh, we hear it. Don't worry. We hear it in the stands. It's all right. But we're not going to tell y'all not to say it." Yeah, let's take the tag. But this is essentially the written out version. They said, "All right," and they were talking about it themselves. So it is clearly in their minds as well. Chunt is alive and well.
Yeah. Well, for now. I mean, I'm
Like,
sorry.
it
I'm
would
sorry.
be better if you reversed it. The problem is Chubb's got to go first.
Yeah, because he's the guy.
Like Hub would be better than Chunt,
yeah.
but you got to go Chubb first. We're like a bunch of
And you guys told me this is going to be a
Or
bad
you could be
topic.
like
This
Chubb
is some
Hunter.
great content right here.
It might be great content, but I'm just, for the sake of everybody, I hope this thing fades into the oblivion and we
man.
never have to see it again.
By the way, y'all don't even see the slight and clever misdirection here. The story is that they're doing press conferences together. They have already been on record saying, "Kareem Hunt is my best friend." They working this up. They trying to get this man paid.
Ain't gonna matter.
They trying to get
You
him
know-
paid.
I'm
I'm
you
telling
know
you
what?
right now.
Hey,
it ain't
they
gonna
trying
matter.
That
get
wasn't
him
a
paid.
scheduled topic for the show, but I wondered too as I'm watching game
Yeah.
one. I'm like, why not? Because we're just now tapping into what they can be.
Hey.
You're telling us right here that there's never an opportunity?
Never say never.
Right.
Unless if he continued to take below market value, you think there's a chance?
I don't think he's going to take that.
I don't think
yeah,
so
I don't
either. But
he knows he's not in the twilight, but he knows he's at the.
He took the deal he took because he lost out in Kansas City. He lost out on all the money, and we
He had
know
no
why.
choice, really.
He had no choice. So he took what he could get,
Right.
And now he's trying to cash in. Jerome Ford was drafted for a reason, folks. Like, this is the end of
Yeah, I'll
But
be
they,
very
didn't take, but they didn't take Jerome Ford in the first 2 rounds. And we're not going to act like Jerome Ford is Kareem Hunt. If Kareem Hunt continues to perform, he is Nick Chubb's best friend. And
I
if he
agree
goes
with
to
that.
bat, at the end
I
of the
agree
day,
with
they
that.
paid Njoku.
Business is business.
Hey, it's a one running back.
Jason, if the production could see, here's what drives me nuts. Everybody said, well, they played Baker last year so they could see what they have. We got to know what we have. Got to see what we have. Well, if he would have performed well, they would have given him an extension.
Yep.
So that's basically Hunt this year, although he now is being used in the offense the way everybody, I think, on this panel and many
or
others
at least one game.
think that
he
they should
was.
for one game.
Yeah.
But my thing is, if let's just say by week 6 or 7, these guys are combining for over 200 yards, they're finding the end zone, they're confusing defenses. If they're still shaking their head, nope, this is a non-starter, he's not coming back, then I'm going to start questioning that because here's what I'll always lean on. They gave Njoku $14 million.
Out to your boy. They gave your boy that bag, and we thought he was out of here.
And you know what? Right now, if I could switch those dollars and say, which one of the two would you rather have under that deal? And I know that running backs have short lifespans, but if we're going to pay that and get that little out of Njoku, I'd rather that money be going to 27.
It's one game, first of all.
I know. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
And in the tight end position, there's just not many guys out there. There's a lot more running backs than there are tight ends.
I still think it was a mistake. I've said all along
the Njoku deal.
The Njoku deal was a mistake.
Yeah.
Kareem's a backup on this team. If he will take a below market deal, yeah, bring him back, sure. I don't think it's going to go that way. Like, I think he's looking to get paid. And again,
But he's not.
But he
here's the
has
thing,
said
Jason.
publicly he wants to stay here.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I agree that he probably wants to get paid, but the running backs don't often get paid anymore.
and maybe they can find some middle ground.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
he's going to. The Browns are $30 million over the cap.
I know
next
they
year.
are.
Yep.
Yeah, I know they are.
So
I think Jason's right. Ultimately, you can't. In the end, it's one game against a bad team. And they're going to play some other bad teams the next couple of
Yeah.
weeks. We'll see. Can you win this way when
Yeah.
they play Tampa
I'll give you
Bay
that.
and
Right.
Buffalo?
You're right.
And
Look, I'll give you
Cincinnati
that.
and
You're right.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's early.
going to be
It's early
harder.
for that.
And if you ultimately, as you brought up a number of times, you win with passing.
Yeah, you do.
You
But
win with
he
passing.
catches passes.
He does.
He catches
does,
passes.
yeah,
McNuggets.
Last point before we move on to the next topic. We are lucky to have Maurice on today because there's no one better to talk about running back tandems
Right,
than
you're right.
Maurice himself. And,
Oh, he
and
made
anything
it.
else, he
He's
made it.
home.
So let's let Maurice get the final word on this Chubb Hunt Chunt conversation before we move on to Donovan
Be
Mitchell.
careful.
does
Be
it remind
careful.
Maurice? Does this remind you of you and Lydell Ross?
I kind of
No,
remember that.
well, I tell you like this. Well, I love both of them, and I've been knowing Kareem since college when he was up at Toledo with Matt Campbell, and so I'm rooting for both of them. And I think Nick Chubb, I love the way he runs. Like I used to say, like if there was another guy, he was probably like a guy just like me 2.0. He's a bad guy, but I don't know. I can imagine most running backs want to get paid, but Kareem and all these guys, whoever get these big deals, they never end up maximizing them or they never end up actualizing the entire contract. And so it could just be like a strategy play. Like, do you stay in Cleveland and they get below market value, but you stay around longer, you don't take as many hits, and that's what it becomes? Or do you go try to chase somewhere and think that you have, a longer shelf life, and maybe you get a big deal and you get a signing bonus, but you don't play the entire contract? I mean, you can kind of see what they're trying to do with Ezekiel Elliott down in Dallas. Believe it or not, I think that they're going to try to push him out because he has so much money on his contract, and that's what's going to happen. So I don't know if it was me, and obviously I'm not 26 or 27 or however old these guys are. I would play like the long game, get paid. You don't take as many hits on your body. The fans love him. Be a fan favorite, make some money off the field. He's from Cleveland, and live the rest of your life happy without chasing the big dollars that could be in the open market, I guess.
What about the nickname?
I don't. Well, look, I feel like this. I don't care for it, but I'm happy that they're. I'll give you a quick story. I'm happy that they can exist because there used to be a time where the running backs used to only want to be one thing, right? And they wanted all the carries. And like this is the first time I think these guys genuinely like each other, and it doesn't feel forced or it doesning feel like they're trying to make it something for the media. And if I was Nick Chubb, I would be campaigning for Kareem because I don't take all those hits on my body. and I don't get beat up as much. And
that's a great point.
That's what I would be doing. And when you put those two in the backfield, anybody who knows football, you put those people in the backfield, it makes it very hard for defenses to adjust, and it's very hard to see who you have on the field. And I watched the game last week, and and I'm not here to critique the quarterback. I'll let you all do that. But if you get somebody, man, who can throw in some of those tight windows, and you put these two in the backfield, it's very hard to line up and to match up against that stuff. And you don't have to win with big plays. You can win with your 4 or 5 yard dunks. You can, like I'm seeing Nick Chubb get 7-8 yards on first down.
Yeah.
You start getting over 4 or 5 yards on first downs, it makes it real hard. And I know everybody's seen the same stuff I've seen when I watch the game. If the guy hit, if he hit the receivers in some of those tighter windows, and he probably just doesn't have that confidence right now. But it's a different team, and Cleveland is not a slouch team. I know that they weren't a good team, but I've seen a lot in Cleveland where I was like, man, Myles Garrett treating guys like kids. These are grown men who's doing this stuff too. So yeah, I mean, we all see the same thing. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited and happy for Cleveland.
I think we're all in agreement that
Yeah.
the nickname's got to go.
It's terrible.
I think.
One last thing real quick before we get to Donovan Mitchell, I'm curious because you said you had a relationship with Kareem Hunt. Obviously, he's a local kid. He played in Toledo. I remember having him in studio with me on my radio show when he was in Toledo, and he seemed like a really nice kid. But obviously, listen, he comes from a tough background. I know his dad's been in trouble with the law a lot. He obviously had the situation where with the woman, he's been in a number of altercations over the years. He got pulled over a couple of years ago. It seems like he's getting his life on track. I don't know. I don't know him personally. I'm rooting for him too. He's gotten the second opportunity. He's made the most of it. Did you, because of what you went through, did you ever talk to him like more recently about, hey, giving him advice on how to get, his life on track? And do you believe he has?
Yeah, well, absolutely. Well, I was brought in by Matt Campbell. It was him and the young kid out of Pittsburgh. He was a linebacker. And they had brought me to work with those two individually. And, a lot of that stuff is just figuring yourself out. I know he got in some trouble, got in trouble prior to leaving high school. And then whatever happened in Toledo, he was still trying to figure it out. And that's why he landed in Toledo. And just like myself, like just as a young guy, you're still trying to figure it out. You carry a lot of your mentality or your attitude towards the neighborhood, but that's the same mentality that the kid is running with. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So on some level, that pain and that desire to want something different for yourself, and the look that you give other people when you say, man, you didn't go through what I went through to get here, and you run with that fire and passion to compete. That's the same thing that these guys just don't have the opportunity all the times to work on and mature in regular society. And so, like, every time I hit him up, either through text message or direct message, if I see something online, he'll hit me back. And I just haven't had the time to go. And, that was probably, 4 or 5 years ago. But I imagine if I went up to Cleveland and I rounded and caught up with him, that we can talk and chat. And I think he respects me enough to where, if it was something going on, he would take my advice. But a lot of that stuff, I look back on myself, it comes to who you're around. And, that's the hardest thing for these guys to break away from. Were guys that kind of helped you get to where you're at, or guys who were in your life prior to you being successful. Your peer group, those guys have a certain mentality that works for them. And understanding that you're a professional athlete and what comes along with that, even though he's running for all these touchdowns and yards, it just takes guys a minute to just accept that, hey, I'm a professional athlete. And that sounds crazy to other people because it just sounds crazy, but I just know it.
No,
well, hopefully he's turned that corner.
Yes, hopefully he's turned the corner.
So let's do